Next up, we got the Haters Guide to the 2022 NFL season. Debriefing. Now we got the more urinating tree. Alright, now y'all love these videos, so we back. You know what I'm saying? Y'all told me I should pause more. So I'm gonna pause, alright? I don't be trying to make the video too long because I don't want, to be excessively pausing. Especially when it's a longer video. But hey, y'all, if y'all don't care, I don't care. So hey, let's see what it be time by.
Was proudly sponsored by DraftKings. In the age of professional,
Alright.
But they all can receive. It's a now you know $100 in
That's
for
the
them
longest
since the
ad of all
1940s
ads.
over the offseason. 22 was a terrible year for team offense in the NFL, and New England was the poster child of it. Bill Belichick apparently watched endless film from the 1940s over the offseason. During this binge, he came to an epiphany. Instead of putting competent people in charge of my offense, why not get two stooges who have no experience control it? Something everyone saw coming from a mile away.
Y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all think that the backup quarterback that came in, do y'all think that he was a better quarterback than Mac Jones? See, when Mac Jones came in, I feel like there was a lot of hype around his name since he was like the first person, like almost like Tom Brady. He was supposed to be the new Tom Brady. So there's a lot of hype around his name. And I felt like when he got hurt, we seen somebody else come in, and we didn't really expect too much. The same with Brock Purdy, we didn't expect too much, but he actually started doing, actually going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I feel like the other dude, Zappe, Frappe, I don't know his name. I feel like he better than Mac Jones. I'm not gonna lie.
Matt Patricia and Joe Judge ran a unit so offensive that the SPLC would call it a hate.
This dude got the worst juke.
Running into themselves featuring their main
God.
formation of
No
Mac
way
Jones rotting away under center. Fans clamoring for Bailey Zappi at every turn. Predictably massive.
What the fuck? Zape, I was just talking good about you, bro. There's no way you just did that. Did he get blocked?
Under center. Fans clamoring for Bailey Zappi at every turn. Predictably massive regression. And any winning was done only if the defense could move mountains. To no one's surprise, Patricia's been relegated to the back closet.
He's about the defense can
Hopefully
move mountains.
In an effort to maintain the cronyism on display in Hoodie Land, Bill O'Brien is back in the saddle. The sad thing is that it's a massive upgrade over what they had. Anything better than what happened against the Raiders. In one play, they brought joy to everyone that had been under their heel for decades.
Oh yeah, this has got to be the single-handedly worst play of all
the ball
time.
And took this to overtime. They probably
Single-handedly the worst play of all time. I literally forgot this happened. Oh my god. Oh my god. Single-handedly the worst play of all time. Honestly, what did they think was gonna happen? They thought they were gonna go down the field, and they was on a 40-yard line. They would have to throw a pitch back 17, almost 20 times to get a miracle. You would think they doing this. You would think they forgot the score. I think that they forgot that it was a tie game. They forgot. Bro, just nail it, bro. I mean, I don't know if they didn't have any faith in their team. They might have had no faith. They didn't have no faith in the OT. If they said our defense is terrible, if the Raiders get the ball in OT, we're losing the game. And that's actually crazy that they even think like that. Either they don't get enough faith in their team, or they forgot the scoreboard.
win and make
both
the
of them
playoffs.
is crazy.
Do I laugh or do I laugh harder? You may argue that this year was not vintage Jets. You'll point to their solid coaching and excellent defense. And you'd be correct. You'll point to injuries destroying the team whenever they gained any sort of momentum. They had a 6-3 record at one point. It may have been fluky as all hell, but it's the best season they've seen in a long time.
For real. I seen the Jets. I'm like, why the Jets okay look that? The Jets. You hear me? I don't know what happened. Why they didn't make the playoffs, but
You get to the quarterback position. The curse must continue. Zach Wilson only knows how to assert himself with milfs. On the field of play, he's fucking terrible. Off the field, he's immature and doesn't know how to lead, whiffing on softball questions and throws alike. I saw more out of 3 weeks of Mike White than I ever have out of Wilson. It's that bad. The team fell off like his player stock did. And while they speak lip service to supporting Zach, we all know it's back to square one. So yes, this season was indeed very, very Jets. But it gets even better for you. Michael LaFleur was told by Brass to run back to Sean McVay and Rams house.
Bro.
So your new offensive coordinator is, wait for it, Nathaniel Hackett. Brett Favre walked so Aaron Rodgers could run. Don't go to the Raiders. You cannot escape a date with destiny, Aaron. Now to await for the dick pic sent in a pair of Crocs. So, Cleveland, are you sure quarterback was the main issue on the team? Because if this season has told me anything, you created a problem that wasn't there. Deshaun Watson was supposed to be the key to your salvation. He would unlock the potential of this team and lead them to the promised land like Moses through the desert. Here's the issue. Jacoby Brissett did well when Watson was gone. The concerns lie elsewhere, mainly in that supposed defense of theirs. Watching Joe Woods open the floodgates with his play calling was a weekly occurrence. So you say getting rid of him and getting people back from injury will fix things. Jim Schwartz can't be that bad, right? I'd agree if it weren't for Deshaun himself. When he returned, he was rusty as all hell. He didn't do shit to help the Browns win a game. You guaranteed this man $230 million, yet any victories Cleveland had were in spite of Watson.
Bro, that's actually gotta be crazy, bro. Now I think about it, because Deshaun Watson already had all that stuff around his name, you know what I'm saying, with the girl and stuff like that. And then he comes in and does nothing. Nothing at all. How much you said the contract was? $230 million? What?
$30 million, yet any... You guaranteed this man $230 million.
That's guaranteed. That's not even a full contract, I don't think. That's guaranteed money, and he didn't do us. So that's embarrassing, bro. And Deshaun Watson is actually, I'd probably say out of 10, he's probably like a 6. He's not the worst, but he's not the best either.
$1 yet any victories Cleveland had were in
Probably
spite
like
of Watson.
Average quarterback.
I'm going to say it louder for those in the back. Was quarterback really the main issue last offseason? You found your supposed franchise guy, but at what cost? Your dignity.
Bro, what did I just see, bro? Oh my God, what is this picture?
Franchise guy, but at what cost?
What the fuck is this? Yo.
Your dignity. The fluke 9-win seasons are the modern answer to the Steelers going to the Super Bowl. Don't shoot for excellence, but for stability. Tradition and loyalty are the keys to happiness. Ignore that there are major issues in team coaching and the defense is useless without a healthy TJ Watt. They'll just blame injuries for this season instead of the real concern. Winnable games you find ways to piss away. There were at least 6 of them throughout the year.
See, now I ain't see number 10. I only watched a couple of the Steelers games this season. Like the last couple games. So I don't really know how number 10 did, but I see that he was like Ben Roethlisberger replacement. So I don't know how he did. Y'all let me know in the comments. I don't know how he did. The games I watched, it was like versus the Ravens and stuff like that. Like week 15 or week 14. That's the games I watched. So y'all let me know. I don't know how he did this season, but yeah, he looked nice when I saw.
And it cost them any hope with a 3-7 start.
Oh my God! No way he picked
signs
it up.
point to the Tomlin narrative ending, right? Nope, that has to continue on. There is some promise here. Kenny Pickett looked more and more confident as the season progressed. Which is the perfect reason to keep the guy who's consistently held back the offense all season. Why is Matt Canada still here? Any improvements the offense made in the second half were in spite of him. Most of those big drives were in the 2-minute drill with Pickett calling the shots. You're keeping a guy that didn't implement hot routes in the offense. It's ass-backwards shit like this that has this team drive me up a wall. They are in football hell right now. That cannot be denied. Hopefully Pickett can keep improving, but if not, well, they can always sign Taylor Swan and draft Joey Porter Jr. They're totally gonna do it too, just you watch.
Mega Fitzpatrick has the worst
Even in
defensive player
tanking,
I've
the
ever seen.
Texans find ways to fuck everything up. The way was set. A team still locked into hell from the reign of Bill O'Brien, sucking like no team has since last year's Jags. General Mills showing none of the upside that made him an intriguing option for the season as they fall into the abyss. Ideally, we can just say they had no talent besides Brandon Cooks begging to get out and call it a day. However, like anything this organization touches, they take simple situations and chuck a crowbar into moving machinery. They have to ruin the tank, and do it in hilariously awful circumstances.
This dude suck.
All you had to do was not treat Lovie Smith like a lame duck goat.
Bro, what is this?
Just keep David Culley around.
Oh my God, Texas gotta be the worst team in the league, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's a battle of the Bubs. The Texas versus the Colts.
Maybe then Lovie wouldn't have given you the proverbial middle finger as he destroys the ambitions of the executive branch with a 2
Yo! He caught that?
Culley around. Maybe then Lovie wouldn't have given you the proverbial middle finger as he just...
This dude got a free pick right here.
destroys
It went through his hands, and then this dude caught it. No one else was even trying to defend the ball. Everybody just gave up. I don't know.
the ambitions of the executive
Battle of the
branch with a
Bones,
two-point
literally.
conversion.
Battle of the Bones.
It's a season of drifting. We all knew it after Deshaun was traded. To build for the future, there will be a new quarterback in tow next year. And he'll be led by a damn good hire in D'Amico Ryans. He's coming home. And I hope to God it's for more than one season like the last two coaches. Please. People had this team as a legitimate Super Bowl contender before the year. That I find baffling. You expect me to believe a group that had been playing hot potato with rental QBs was a true contender? This year merely reinforced one thing. This team was built for Andrew Luck. Anyone else could never get them to their full potential. Matt Ryan was a great quarterback in his time. In Indy, he embraced a future of being made into glue.
Matt Ryan do play for the Colts. Matt Ryan is a terrible. Look, Matt Ryan used to be sweet though, because I used to like the Falcons. I used to like the Falcons a lot actually, back in the day. When they had Julio Jones. Who else they had on the Falcons? I forgot, low-key. They had a nice little squad, though. Like 2011, 2012. They had a nice little squad. I ain't gonna lie. And I remember them times and stuff like that. And I feel like they had that good cornerback. They had a nice little squad. And I remember I used to like Matt Ryan because he actually used to be sweet. You know what I'm saying? But now, this dude is like literally the worst player. They say he has 9 interceptions. He's the worst. He's literally the worst quarterback. It says he's the worst in all categories. Wow.
Slaughtered behind a regressing offensive line, no wide receivers, and a team.
You know a team ass if they tie with another team. That's how you know a team is really ass. If they have a tied game in their record, they suck.
In disarray. A career
I don't
ended
care
by
what
benching.
happened.
And then revived to make Frank Reich look like the villain before being benched again. With how bad they were lucky to even get 4 wins on the year. I felt this before they burned Reich in effigy for a yes man for Jim Irsay. Jeff Saturday hadn't coached past the high school level, and it showed in a ton of his matches. Ideally, the Colts would see their flaws and change the way they've been doing things to try and salvage the window, but this is Jim Irsay. The supposed football genius is going to pretend getting a new quarterback will fix things, and then keep Jeff Saturday around because he wants someone he can control. Is anyone really shocked at this potential outcome? The only thing I'm really surprised by is that Chris Ballard is still here.
Bro, what is happening?
He'd have been thrown into the pit that Frank Reich was. Sometimes you can tell when a move is instantly regretted. When the Titans couldn't come to terms with A.J. Brown and had to trade him away, it may have been awful before the phone was hung up. Brown's a well-paid dynamo in Philly while the Titans yearn for a legit receiving option. The surface take would be to blame the Brown trade for their demise, but this goes much deeper. Their ascent to #1 seed in the AFC was a fluke. It always was. The defense being forced to resort to Herculean efforts to get the offense to do anything worth a damn was infuriating to witness. They were useless when Derrick Henry couldn't get anything going, which was roughly 60% of the time. Predictable scheming at best and jet sweeps to the fucking backup QB at worst.
Stop playing, bro. Are you serious?
Derrick Henry couldn't get anything going, which was roughly 60% of the time. Predictable scheming at best and jet sweeps to the fucking backup QB at worst.
You mean to tell me a team is that trash? They doing jet sweeps with a backup quarterback? I understand if maybe it was Lamar Jackson, maybe. Even then, it's like, you know, if you're doing this play, it has to work, because it's like if it doesn't work, this is going to be like the dumbest shit ever. So I understand maybe if it was Lamar, that's probably the only time I give it a pass, maybe, because Lamar, you know, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But bro, a backup quarterback, a 5-day contract player, bro. Not even a 5-day, bro. A 5-hour contract. As soon as this game's over, his contract's shredded.
The most dangerous offensive drive Todd Downing had was when he was drunk. The GM John Robinson
Wait, what?
was fired in the middle of the jet sweeps to the fucking backup QB at worst. The most dangerous offensive drive Todd Downing had was when he was drunk. The GM John Robinson was fired in the middle of the season with how badly he managed their roster.
Dang.
Dead men walking as it was. And then came the injuries. Oh, good lord, if this team wasn't shit to watch before, watching a glorified USFL unit made it even worse.
They didn't trade
lose
Derrick
7 in a
Henry.
row simply by not trying. Effort has to be put into it. So with that, a cakewalk division was given away. Serious questions about the team need to be answered, and Mike Vrabel is trying to dig his way out of a bottomless pit. Good luck, Ran Carthon. You'll need it. Welcome to football hell. Too good to build for the future, too irrelevant to be legitimate contenders.
Bruh.
An agonizing experience. Enjoy your stay. We knew something was wrong in week 1. Witnessing Nathaniel Hackett absolutely butcher concepts that an 8-year-old playing Madden would pick up on was a truly hilarious sight. Blowing it against the team you snagged their franchise quarterback from,
70-yard
we dismissed it as a blip on the radar. What it really signaled was a trend. The Broncos were an outright disaster on offense. The sheer regression of Russell Wilson being killed by an O-line that couldn't block a Twitter troll was merely one piece of the puzzle.
Russell Wilson, I forgot he went to the fucking Broncos. Now, I want to talk about Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson, you know, he's definitely a good quarterback. Back when he had like a good team, I guess. Now, I did not watch not one game of the Broncos. The Broncos they probably had to be the worst team in the league, right? It's either them or Texans. So I'm trying to figure out what happened. Why was they so trash? And I feel like low key too, Russell Wilson getting old. So, like, he ain't the same Russell Wilson no more. And he going through all that stuff. I forgot what happened on the offseason, but it was, like, a lot of controversy around his name, too. Something that he did. And he gets traded to another team, and then the Broncos. Like, the Broncos haven't been good since, what, 1980? Like, when the last time the Broncos been good since fucking Peyton Manning went to their team?
Puzzle. Mr. Unlimited hacked up with an axe every week by his own actions and Hackett himself. Or maybe that was the injury report. Poorly prepped, poorly schemed, fighting each other on the sidelines, completely overmatched in most games. The Nathaniel Hackett special. This year proved he was merely brought in to try and woo Aaron Rodgers to Denver. And like he carried Hackett to relevance, Denver carried Nate to the top of a mountain to freeze to death. The first comparison I can make is to the 77 Falcons. With that elite defense being left to dry, it's not a good sign. They had to do something to fix Russell Wilson. They extended him before the season. They're stuck on his agonizing ride. Getting a much more competent offensive mind in Sean Payton should help with that. How much? That depends. They had to trade another first and second round pick to get him from New Orleans. And they wanted Jim Harbaugh and D'Amico Ryans more, but it's a get, I guess. If Payton turns into Kevin James on a Netflix special, we laugh at Broncos country for the next half-decade. We fucking told you, Raiders. Didn't you learn from the last 15 times anyone tried to skin the Patriots alive? Unless you have Brady or Belichick in tow, it doesn't work. Everyone and their mother knew that Josh McDaniels is a total hack. We saw it in Denver a decade ago. Yet Mark Davis has daddy issues and wants to prove he can run his team into the ground like Al did 15 years ago. It's not that the Raiders were losing. Regression was expected after last year's insane run. It's how they were losing. Humiliation at every turn. 3 blown leads of at least 17 points on the season. An offensive juggernaut that couldn't get past midfield against the Saints until late in the 4th quarter. A 2-7 start to the year is somehow not the low point. That would be losing to Jeff goddamn Saturday in the first game he coached in the NFL. His only win on the year. Or would that be blowing a final drive to Baker Mayfield? 2 days after he was claimed off waivers. All bad seasons need a scapegoat, and they've chosen Derek Carr for sacrifice. He's not responsible for how awful the defense was, but they can get Jimmy G or Aaron Rodgers to do the same shit or something. He has some blame to share, so he will be exiled. But here's the issue. Davante Adams only came here because of Carr. If he goes, Adams may want out too. And they can't simply fire McDaniels. The Raiders have all their money tied up in the Bank of America loan. They're absolutely fucked. Josh McDaniels possibly running as starting QB and star wide receiver out of town again? You get what you fucking deserve, Las Vegas.
I don't know why he left. I don't know why, bro. He's literally the only person carrying the Raiders right now, bro. Davante Adams is literally single-handedly carrying the Raiders right now. Him and the running back. The running back not bad either. The Josh Jacobs, he's not bad either. But that's literally, everybody else is literally, Derek Carr's old. He used to be sweet. I'm not gonna say he used to be sweet. He used to be mid. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trash, but he wasn't good, so he was mid. Same with Deshaun Watson. He was mid. You feel me?
The Carson Wentz roller coaster is quite comparable to what the commies went through this season. First, the rickety wooden box takes you down to a terrible start. That so-called elite defense being caught in a dust-up of injuries and ineffective offensive play to a 1-4 start. Then you begin to climb to the top of the hill. Wentz being conveniently injured so Taylor Heineke could shine. Not the most
Carson
talented
Wentz
player
play
in
on
the
the
world,
team?
but the team rallied around
Is
him.
Carson Wentz still good? I don't know if Carson Wentz is even still good. I don't know.
Running back to relevance in the fringes of playoff contention thanks to the 10,000 dogs he unleashes every game. Not to mention that defense coming back to full. But as they all say, what goes up must come down. All hope must be thrown into a black hole by the hands of who the fuck else? Carson Wentz. They benched Heineke for him in a must-win game. What did you expect to happen? Ron Rivera saying he knew the commies could have been eliminated? Spoiler alert, they were. And Scott Turner was thrust upon the sword for whatever the hell this season was. Hopefully it's the end of the Dan Snyder era, but much dumber things have happened. Much dumber things. Don't worry if things don't go well in the offseason, Washington. Snyder can always exhume Sean Taylor's corpse for the 32nd time in some half-assed attempted tribute. It's too late for justice. Dan should have been booted out of this league 2 decades ago. At least it can't get worse than it has been, I guess. Anything I say that involves shitting on the Bears can't hurt them. You've already heard it all. The old core being shipped off for scraps next to no talent.
Now the Bears, only person that's carrying the Bears is obviously Justin Fields. He's literally like the new Jalen Hurts. He's literally Jalen Hurts. I think he don't look faster than Jalen Hurts. But he's the only person carrying the Bears. I don't know if you know who else even plays on the Bears other than Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? I think Justin Fields is low-key a top 5 quarterback too. Not gonna lie.
Remaining on the roster and a predictably terrible season were the result of 2022.
He didn't go to a
However,
new team,
Bears
bro.
fans have some signs that can lead
If Justin Fields went to a team like the Cowboys might have actually a hope. Not gonna lie. Think about that.
to a brighter tomorrow. Off the field, Ted Phillips is finally moving to that great accounting firm in the sky. Way too late to salvage lost seasons, but perhaps Justin Fields can help for the future. Chicago finally let him utilize his feet. You know, his greatest strength as a player. It's too bad there isn't a team around him and his arm is very raw, but you just hope he can get that year 3 Josh Allen jump and call it a day. They have an interesting offseason coming up. Houston fucking their tank has brought them the number 1 pick in the draft. They can trade it for a premium haul to a QB-hungry team. The Bears have almost $100 million in cap space this offseason. They can make noise if they play their cards right. If you do, it'll go a long way towards people forgetting you traded your second rounder for Chase Claypool. Good luck. You've got work to do. You may finally be out of the abyss. Can't believe I'm saying that about Detroit, but we're here, aren't we? It wasn't looking good at all to start. A 1-6 record, despite one of the best offenses in football, was cause for alarm. Dan Campbell couldn't game plan accordingly. Their defense was a total shit show for huge chunks of the year. More than a few Lions fans were calling for Campbell's kneecaps delivered on a silver platter. So when you consider that, it's downright admirable that they were able to get their shit together not only from a defensive standpoint, but nearly make the damn playoffs themselves. Jared Goff may not be a placeholder after all. This past season was the best he's looked since 2018. Legitimate structure and talent emerging around every corner. A premium draft pick coming by means of the Rams. Next year could be something very special for Detroit. The first legitimate team they've seen since I honestly can't remember. That's how
Barry
sad it's
Sanders.
been. You can come out, Lions fans. There's no Matt Patricia or Matt Millen to hurt you anymore. The future is something you can look forward to. Just don't get ahead of yourselves.
Now Detroit, I'm from Detroit. If y'all didn't know, and how I feel about the Lions is, you know, we've been bad for a long time, you know, and I didn't really watch the Lions. I really haven't even kept up with them because there's no point. That's why, you know, what I mean, it's literally no point. The team, if your home team sucks, like, it's just depressing. Even thinking about them, you know what I mean? So I haven't really kept up with them. But we're not reacting to the Lions versus what was the game? Lions versus the Packers. I had all Lions fans. I didn't even know it even was Lions fans. That's crazy. It was a whole bunch of Lions fans in my comments. Oh, how you from Detroit, but you rap in another city, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bruh, come on, bro. Like, stop the cap, bruh. Y'all know the Lions suck, bro. And the Lions always just beat the Packers. That's just like their only hype game of the year. And they always beat the Packers. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, they don't look bad, though. I'm not going to lie. They don't look bad. Like I said, it is a future. I feel like it is a future. It's gonna be crazy, though, to see a Lions go to the playoffs. Oh, my God. But I heard that they got either the best line in the league or top 3 or something like that. So I mean, shit, you feel me? I ain't gonna be a bandwagoner like that, but it is my home team. So if the Lions, you know what I'm saying, they start doing good, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's been a long time coming, but I'm gonna have to support my team. You know what I mean? I can't be like, just like I'm agree with y'all. Just like y'all say, I can't be from a certain place and not rep my team, even if they ask or not. I understand that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Focus on the task at hand. Sometimes the end comes quickly and without warning. We saw it happen to more than a few teams in the past, but the death of many others is slow and prolonged.
Man, the Packers, bro. Oh my God, bro. Now the Packers. This is my team. I literally just talking about it. So the Packers. Aaron Rodgers getting old, but he's still making plays. That's the thing. Aaron Rodgers is old, but he's still making plays. He's not like he's hurting the Packers. The Packers' problem isn't Matt. Whatever his nickname is. The Packers' problem is their defense. We have literally the worst defense, bro. You know what I'm saying? Our secondary is terrible. Our only thing we have is like our linebackers. It's probably the only people doing something. Our DBs trash, bro. We need new DBs. I say even the D line. You know what I'm saying? We got the offense though. Even missing Devontae Adams, we still got a good offense. Offense is not bad. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Aaron Rodgers got a couple more years. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's going to see like the next year and a half, see how the Packers looking. The Packers still trash, he retiring. I think that's just how it is. But if the Packers can show any type of, what am I about to say? Like any type of like, you know, future, any type of progression, that's the word. Any type of progression over the years, he might stay in league for a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? But
Green Bay's demise in 2022 was much more the latter than anything else. Even from the opening bell of the season, something about the whole team felt off. Aaron Rodgers was declining rapidly. There was no chemistry between him and receivers. Joe Barry enjoyed vanilla too much for his own liking. The offense was the main problem, something the Packers had the luxury of deliberately avoiding. Feels like the beginning of the end, if we're being honest. When you start the season 4-8, you have to be near perfect to get to the postseason. And to be fair, they nearly were. Until they remembered their traditional January loss at Lambeau. Green Bay was so eager for it, they lied down to die in the final game of the...
Look at this nigga forcing the ball to bro. Like, why? He made one good catch. We seen it, you know what I mean? But like I said in the other video, bro, they are not going to sit there and let you keep throwing to a one-on-one man coverage, and they know you can. They know it's a what's the word? They know it's a mismatch. They're not gonna just let you sit there and not adjust to it. Football is about adjustments. You know what I'm saying? So when he started forcing into the dude because he already made one good catch, this is how this happens.
Season. They were in a win-and-din scenario. With that, the end may be closer than it appears. You merely delayed it, but the Aaron Rodgers question is popping up again.
NFL executives believe trade is not most likely for Aaron Rodgers Packers. Oh, wait, believe trade is most likely. Oh, so Aaron Rodgers might get traded? Jeez, how much? I'm thinking he about to retire, but shit. He said he want to get traded? Oh, my God. But Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, but we got to see, bro.
He may have played his last game as a Packer. Alan Lazard surely has, but it's either Aaron or Jordan Love. Both can no longer coexist in this timeline. You must choose. The completely unproven commodity or the guy who's been holding the team hostage for the past 2 seasons. Make your move, Green Bay. It's going to be painful either way. You cannot escape the pain. Even during an obvious rebuilding year, the Falcons cannot have even a modicum of joy. Any hope will be quashed by losing games in the most humiliating ways possible. Thought you were done blowing leads? Not in week 1 against the Saints, you aren't. Perhaps potentially overcoming the dreaded 28-3 curse? Maybe if Marcus Mariota didn't throw it right to Jalen Ramsey. What about a big comeback against Tampa Bay undone by Grady Jarrett touching Tom Brady? Why not add to a big fumble by the Chargers by fumbling on the same damn play to cost them the game? Interceptions in the red zone with
Bro. Stop playing, bro.
less than 2 minutes left by Mariota? Fumbles by Drake London on critical 4th down receptions? Oh, it was a season of pain when it shouldn't have been anywhere near as such. I see Arthur Smith as the disappointed dad who just learned his son totaled the family car. You want to beat the shit out of the kid, but you don't because you love him. We know that look. Arthur gave it nearly every week. If this team had any ability to finish, they'd have won at least 10 games. Dead serious about that. Perhaps with actual talent on the roster and managing to throw the ball to Kyle Pitts for once.
Bro, what the fuck is going
it's
on?
Desmond Ridder season. Mariota just left because he knew his time was up. I truly don't blame him for it. Get out before the executioner comes for your head. Everyone and their mother knew that the Panthers were going to be terrible this season. It was written in stone the
Panthers might be the worst team in the league, I ain't gonna lie.
moment they chose to keep Matt Rule around. They were dead men walking from the get-go. A group that couldn't come close to anything resembling success. 1-4 with the team dead to rights. All you can do is swallow the pill that should have been done months earlier. The year was as lost as Baker Mayfield in this offense. Even worse is that the team managed to respond to Steve Wilkes' interim coach. This was in spite of trading their best weapon in Christian McCaffrey. With how pathetic their division was, if they cut bait with Rule after last season, there's a good chance the Panthers would have hosted a playoff game. The NFC South was that bad. Despite all the bullshit, they still had a chance to do so this year. If they didn't blow it against Tampa Bay, but we can have nothing good in this world, so they must die. Steve Wilkes apparently can't either. David Tepper went after the sexy hire in Frank Reich, which in itself should be a massive upgrade over Rule. However, there are too many questions that need to be answered in the offseason with not enough resources to do them all. This franchise is at a crossroads. They must choose their course carefully. Failing again will lead to their doom. No matter how long you try to kick the can down the road, no matter what's done in effort to prolong life, one thing is certain. You must pay the piper. He does not care if you won or not. He expects his due. New Orleans, you've run out of options. The slow and painful decline of your once proud team has led to an aging, injury-prone outfit with more questions than answers. They still wait for the successor to breeze with surprisingly decent results from Andy Dalton. What's to occur with Alvin Kamara's assault case is still uncertain, let alone his future with the team. Michael Thomas went from one of the best receivers in the game to one that can't stay on the field. And his injury nightmare will more than likely never leave him the same. The bodies of the fallen lie aplenty. A lost identity featuring a coach who's merely a stand-in for what once was there. Nothing's changing on that front because they know the truth. The Saints are done. This is no longer a team that will threaten for Super Bowls and division titles, but one that must embrace an arduous rebuild. Consistently kicking the can down the road in the form of cap restructures have made them unable to properly upgrade. Any new QB brought in would merely be a band-aid to a gangrenous wound. It's been a long time coming. With Sean Payton being traded for draft picks, the writing is on the wall. It's a cruel outcome to a window that should have featured so much more, but all that's left is bitter defeat. It's been almost 15 years since New Orleans won their ring, you know that? That's an eternity in the football world. Better hold on to that memory tight. The abyss is much darker than you remember it to be. The only embrace will be rubble crushing your spirit and collapses against Tom goddamn Brady. Insult to injury, the Eagles have your first-round pick this year. I knew the Cardinals were going to be bad this season. Too much drama surrounding the team. Too much tension between Kyler and Kingsbury.
Well, they said about Kyler was going to be the goated quarterback. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all let me know in the comments. Is Kyler good? Is Kyler really good? I don't know. Y'all let me know, bro. I don't know, bro. He looked good the first year. I remember the first year he came in. He wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? But I just haven't heard anything from him since then. Since then, I've heard nothing from him. So, I don't know.
Forge ahead. But even then, to see this out of them, it was something I hadn't imagined in my wildest dreams. Every single hater and critic of this team over the past half-decade was vindicated. It played out like a dark comedy on Amazon Prime. Beautiful schadenfreude for all of us to say we fucking told you so. Kyler openly rebelling against the men that brought him into this train wreck on a weekly basis. And when he was done calling those above him utterly useless, he tore his ACL on a non-contact play. He's getting his bag, so don't worry about him. The defense didn't do much better in response. Very shocking indeed. Kingsbury and Kime were sent packing for a long vacation to Thailand. And while we all saw this car crash coming from a mile away, Arizona is in complete chaos. They're locked into a vision that was terrible from the moment ink was put to paper. Wasted potential and millions of dollars everywhere you look. Kyler not coming back from his injury until the middle of next season, and DeAndre Hopkins about to be traded like this team's managed by Bill O'Brien. J.J. Watt and A.J. Green died for this. The Cardinals have always been irrelevant. Run by a failure of an owner raised by a failure before him. It's why they're in the fucking mess they're in to begin with. Good riddance. It all went wrong from the opening game of the season. Watching as Buffalo came into so-called Rams' house and bitch-slapped them around for 60 consecutive minutes. Going all in to hypothetically buy a ring has its consequences. And they were on full display this season. A team that stopped giving a shit since their thirst had been quenched. And then their entire core was injured to hell and back in their contentment. It all leads to a year of undistilled horror. So much for running it back when you can't even find anyone to run the damn offense consistently. Let alone an offensive line that could actually block. The worst part is, despite this terrible year, they have a built-in excuse for it all. Matthew Stafford may have suffered career-ending injuries. Who cares? We have a ring. Sean McVay is having doubts as to his desire to coach this group anymore. Just look at the ring. The entire core may be fucking off to retirement, free agency, and so on. Kiss the ring, bitch. It's a cop-out to every single legitimate issue. You may have succeeded in fucking them picks, but the picks fucked back. Detroit will pick them up on the rebound.
Yo.
The ring is the ultimate goal of a franchise, but you'd think you put up more of a fight in trying to maintain supremacy. Oh, what the hell do I know? I'll just laugh as the Rams fall into a hell of their own construction.
His first one with the Jets.
Hey.
Snap is dropped. Braden Mann's in trouble. Throw it away. It's picked up by the Bears and Joe Thomas.
What the?
Loose, and here comes Jones.
What the?
It's like a wet bar of soap. If the Jets.